Hello, my dear video game lovers. Today you will find out. During the Xbox Games Showcase, a lengthy gameplay trailer for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was presented. New details of the action game, Assassin's Creed, Shadows. Epic Games has made a pleasant surprise for Unreal Engine users by offering a free package with 500+ character animations. Microsoft has unveiled a dark cinematic trailer for the new Gears of War. Doom. The Dark Ages will have more enemies, bigger arenas, and slower action. We're going to share these and other news with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You are on the Fox Games News channel. Well, we're starting. Bethesda is preparing for several major launches, not the least of which is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The game appeared on the Xbox Games Showcase, and we can get acquainted with new footage from the adventure of a young archaeologist. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle resembles an anchored one, but in the first person. Active actions will be enough. Unexpected enemies, traps, airplane flights, and that's just a little bit. Machine Games, the developers of the Wolfenstein series, have received a very interesting assignment. The developers are creating a game in the world of one of the most iconic heroes of cinema. Harrison Ford will no longer play the legend, but Indiana Jones will return with a game published by Bethesda. The action of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle takes place in 1937. When sinister forces roam the world in search of an ancient artifact. The Great Circle is meant to provide power, and as it often happens, only one person can stop evil. According to game director Benoit, Assassin's Creed, Shadows focuses on land and mountains. However, players will have the opportunity to travel by ship. Benoit says that although players will not be able to sail into the open ocean, they will have the opportunity to travel by ship. In addition, there will be a ship that will cruise around the country. Benoit also said that both main characters will be able to share loot with each other. For example, one character can collect equipment for the other and vice versa. There will also be quite a few Japanese castles in the game, as they tend to be among the most striking buildings of that era. According to Le Meier Comptoir, it was important for the studio to remain faithful to the design and location. The map in Assassin's Creed Shadows will be smaller than in Valhalla. Epic Games has kept its promise made at the GDC 2024 Game Developers Conference and released a unique resource for the game development community. The Game Animation Sample Project. This project is an extensive database containing more than 500 high-quality character animations that meet the standards of the AAA industry. Developers of Class AAA games will be able to use these animations as the basis for pre-production. Exploring the possibilities of the Unreal Engine game engine in the field of character animation, and mastering advanced techniques such as motion matching. A new Gears of War, E-Day, has been announced. The trailer shows how Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago deal with the threat of locusts on the day of the invasion for the first time in history. Thus, the game can be considered a prequel to the series. 14 years before the events of Gears of War, war heroes Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago return home and face a new nightmare: a horde of locusts. These creepy, ruthless monsters are bursting out of the ground, threatening to kill all of humanity. The developer of the Coalition was one of the first AAA game studios to switch to Epic's Unreal Engine 5. The trailer is completely made on this engine. The developer of the Coalition was one of the first AAA game studios to switch to Epic's Unreal Engine 5. The trailer is completely made on this engine. one of the key factors when it comes to fighting demons in Doom. The Dark Ages is the fact that the upcoming shooter puts more emphasis on dodging enemy projectiles than previous games, which brings it closer in spirit to the original Doom. The large number of enemies that players can fight is also due to the fact that ID Software has managed to optimize the AI in its game to incredible levels. Martin even says that he doesn't think there's a real limit now to the number of monsters that can participate in combat. In conclusion, Martin talked about some of the weapons in Doom, the Dark Ages, and how they will differ from what players are used to in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. In particular, the Saw Shield, which we saw in the game's presentation trailer, will be a big part of Doom, the Dark Ages.
In a new article by Jason Schreier, it became known that Warner Bros. Is working on a new director's version of Hogwarts Legacy. Schreier pointed out that Warner Bros. Is currently working on Hogwarts Legacy Director's Cut. The game, developed by Avalanche Software, became the most successful in 2023. According to the journalist, most of Rocksteady is currently working on Director's Cut. It is not yet clear exactly what will be included in Director's Cut and when it will be released. Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy XVI, confirmed that his team is currently working on 2 unannounced games that should be presented soon. In a recent interview, Naoki Yoshida talked about the recent changes in the studio and their impact on the team. Speaking about the future, he confirmed that his team is working on 2 new unannounced games. There have been rumors about a remake of Final Fantasy IX for a long time, therefore fans assume that we may be talking about a Final Fantasy IX remake. The producer also mentioned that it's time for another Final Fantasy Tactics, suggesting that one of the upcoming games could be a sequel to this fan-favorite game. Naoki Yoshida and his team are also supporting Final Fantasy XIV with new content. In addition, the team is working on the release of Final Fantasy XVI on PC, so fans can expect a lot of news from this studio in the near future. It is not yet known what awaits us in the 7th part of the Legendary strategy. Major changes in the gameplay are expected, a new look at diplomacy and economics, as well as graphical improvements that can take players into an even more realistic and exciting world. The authors of the remake of System Shock would like to do a remake of the original part of Deus Ex, released in 2000. He also mentioned that the studio doesn't mind working on Outlaws and Arx Fatalis. Since the end of 2022, the rights to Deus Ex belonged to the Embracer Group. It also became known from recent company reports that the Deus Ex series is not included in the list of game series that Embracer intends to develop. The last installment of the Deus Ex series, titled Mankind Divided, was released in 2016 and received positive reviews, but sales of the game proved disappointing for Square Enix. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything. See you in the new video.